What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chitty Ashley, and in this video, I want to give you guys 6 ways that you can make money if you are in college, if you're a recent graduate, or if you're someone who is looking for a side gig or a side hustle, and something that could eventually even turn to a full-time job. So definitely stay tuned. This video is no scam vibes. I want to give you guys things that I have actually done myself and things that I know personally that have worked for me and I used while I was in university. So definitely stay tuned for that. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and let's go. All right, first things first, we're gonna talk about Upwork. Upwork.com is a platform that I have been using for years now, and I've had experience using it as a freelancer and also as a business owner. So I have lots of knowledge on this platform. I wanna talk to you guys though about the freelancer aspect of Upwork because that is how you're gonna make your money. Now, I started using Upwork when I was in university. If you guys don't know, I studied at NYU Stern Business School, and while I was in college, I listed my profile on Upwork, and I actually started doing jobs such as social media management way back when. And I was also doing website creation, which is really crazy, but a really fun skill that I learned and was able to use on the Upwork platform to make money. And I was also able to do other odd jobs such as proofreading and copywriting, which is really crazy. So Upwork is a really good platform, and all of those different jobs that I mentioned are really good ways for you to get your foot in the door if you are someone who is new to the platform. And some of the tips for you guys, if you're starting on Upwork, make sure that you're not charging really crazy prices from the beginning. You want to make sure that when you're bidding for a job, you're giving yourself, it's a little bit of a low ball, but you want to start off small, and that way you can get jobs and then build your reputation by getting really good reviews. And that's exactly what I did. So for example, I would be like, hey, listen, I will create posts for you on Instagram for $100 a week, and then slowly I would grow my portfolio from then, and I would charge higher prices. I remember the time when I got a contract to create a website for this lady who had started a new blog, and she wanted to showcase some of her recipes, and I actually created a website and I got paid $1,500. And actually, I used that money and I traveled to Peru during my summer break. So those are some of the things that I was doing with my money. As I would make money, I would spend it on travel while I was in college. And it was just a really good way for me to make some income and then fund some of my interests. So definitely check out Upwork. Again, my tips for you are: create your profile, really focus on making sure that you have a good quality professional profile picture. You also want to make sure that in your bio, the first 2 lines are straight to the point and they are attractive. And what I mean by that is you want to give whoever is reading your bio quick information on why they should hire you. So think about these tips when you're creating your Upwork profile. Start out with jobs such as social media management, proofreading, copywriting, and another big one, virtual assisting and customer service. These are some of the fields that will help you make some money. And of course, you can also pivot into more specialized fields if you have certain skills. So for example, UX, UI design, software development, and then they also have lots of other cool industries on Upwork. So for example, if you are a lawyer, you can also find jobs on there. So definitely check that out. Now we're gonna move on to the next thing. All right, so number 2, we're gonna talk about focus groups. Now, guys, it's so crazy. I don't even remember how I started doing focus groups. Actually, no, I remember. So I was studying while I was in university, and we were learning a lot about marketing methods and ways businesses do market research. And I actually, in college learned about focus groups. And in that, I started looking at focus groups myself, and I found a lot of really cool cool opportunities to do focus groups and participate in focus groups. So I actually did a lot of focus groups. I did focus groups for companies such as YouTube, Facebook, MTV, and a lot of other big brands. I also did focus groups for Amazon as well. So I have been doing focus groups, or had been doing focus groups for a while, and I became a little bit of an expert in getting the jobs and kind of finessing the system a little bit. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about focus groups. Focus groups are a way that businesses conduct research. So for example, MTV is launching a new show. They're gonna bring a few millennials in to the room, and they're gonna talk to you guys and ask you your opinion. So it's literally an hour to 2 hours of them asking you what you think about a specific product. So it was a really fun way for me to voice my opinion, learn about new products, and make some money. And I would get paid anywhere from $100 an hour to $250 or $300 an hour, no joke. And this is when I was 19, 20 years old, still in university. So let me tell you, some people are making really good money with focus groups. The only thing about focus groups I will mention though, it is not as consistent as some of the other items that I'm gonna mention on my list. Focus groups are really things that you might do once a month or every other month, because you're not always gonna get booked for a job. So for example, a company might be looking for someone between the ages of 18 to 30 years old to try out their new product. And if you don't fit into that demographic, then you're not gonna get selected. I got really good at figuring out what the companies were looking for. And so I would just answer the questions in ways that would make them hire me or pick me for the job, because I would always kind of tell them what they wanted to hear. So, you know, take that and do with it what you will, but I got really good at getting booked for focus group jobs, and I did so many of them. So definitely check those out. And actually, focus group websites are looking for people to sign up, because that means that they have a larger pool of people to reach out to when new opportunities come about. So type in focus groups in Google and find a lot of focus group companies in your area, especially if you live in like New York or California, some of the big cities where companies have their headquarters or bases. That means that they will be doing a lot of market research, and so you'll find many more opportunities in your area. So definitely check that out. Sign up for focus group companies, and whenever they have new opportunities, for example, $65 for a 30-minute phone call where you give them your opinion, they will send you an email, and then you can sign up for that opportunity. Let's go to the next one. Alrighty, so the next one is Airbnb. And guys, I have such a funny story time for this one, because okay, listen, I have tried everything when it comes to making money, and really for me as a big sister and as, you know, the oldest in my family and one of the first kids in my family to study abroad, I kind of didn't want to ask my parents for money all the time. And so that's why I got creative with finding ways to make income online. So, you know, when you are in an African household and your parents are paying school fees, and, you know, for example, my parents were in Nigeria earning in Naira and paying my school fees in dollars. And I knew how difficult it was for them, especially when so much was going on in our country and it was affecting the conversion rate. So I got creative. And one of the creative ways that I was making money was through Airbnb. So I had an apartment with my 3 friends. And when we would all be away for our summer breaks, or when we would be away for like spring break, I would Airbnb out my room, of course with the consent of my roommates, but this was a really good way for me to make income. Another time when I did this was when I would travel. So if, for example, I travel back home for 2-3 weeks, I would Airbnb out my room and I would charge around $80 to $120 per night. I had an apartment in Manhattan that was shared with some of my roommates, and so I was able to charge those prices. And with that, I was able to make a lot of money, and it was such a good income for me. Of course, there's some hurdles and steps steps to get around, such as making sure that you get it cleaned after someone leaves and so on. But this was something that I did on and off to make money on the side, and I used to save all of this money. So definitely, if you can, let's say you are traveling and you're comfortable with Airbnb-ing your room or your apartment, it's a really good way to make money, and it actually will end up paying for your vacation or paying for, you know, your apartment and your rent for the month. So definitely consider Airbnb. On the flip side, Airbnb also has Airbnb Experiences. Now, this is something I haven't personally tried myself, but it's also a really good way to make money if you have skills, if you have any talents, if you're really good at just kind of interacting with people and showing them your city, or if you're someone who can set up fun activities for people. Airbnb Experiences is a really, really good way to make money. So I see a lot of photographers listing themselves on Airbnb Experiences. I see tour guides listing themselves, or, you know, artists and so on. So Airbnb Experiences is definitely something to check out if you're looking to make income. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so we're coming to the end of our list. I have two more for you guys. The next one is Fat Llama. I don't know if you guys have heard of this app. I used to use it years ago, but it's another really good way to make money. Now, this is not gonna be, you know, pay your rent money, but this is gonna be take myself out on the weekend or pay for some of my vacations money. And this Fat Llama, it's a marketplace where you can actually rent out some of the items that you don't use, and people can actually rent them for a day. So for example, I had a camera and I was able to rent out my camera to people who needed it. So, you know, maybe if someone's a YouTuber or photographer, they don't have a camera, they can rent your camera. They can also rent like your bicycle or other items which you're not currently using, and they can pay you anywhere from like $30 a day to $50 or $100 a day to use your equipment. So if you have DJ equipment, lighting, photography equipment, if you have a drone, this is a really good site to utilize where you can rent out those items when you're not using them. So definitely check out Fat Llama. I think it's a really good way just to make money, a little bit of extra cash. Now on to my next one, and the next one is internships. So guys, of course you're in college, you're a graduate. One of the really good ways, of course, to make money is doing internships. We all know about this, and internships were a really good way that I made money. And I told myself very early on, my time is way too valuable to be doing any unpaid work. So I never dabbled in the unpaid internships, and I focused more on finding opportunities that were one, paid, and that two, were interested me. So I would always look for opportunities in industries that I really personally connected to, and I ended up working with a lot of startup companies. I never was interested in really working for big companies or large conglomerates. I always wanted to work for startup companies. I felt like I got a lot more responsibility. I learned a lot more. I was closer to the CEO. And I always got paid. So guys, I know a lot of startups don't always have a huge budget, but there are some out there. A really good platform that I use to find internships, especially in the tech space, was Angellist or Angellist. I'll put it down in the description box below. And that was one of the ways that I was able to find really good internships. I also did do some internships for some larger companies as well, but for the most part, the ones that I enjoyed were working with startup companies. I learned so much, and it really gave me the confidence, I believe, after I graduated, to start my own business, which is what I'm currently doing. I currently run my own businesses. I have two companies. One is a luxury travel agency. The other one is a tech startup, and we're just finishing our beta program and launching publicly soon. So I'm really excited about that. But, you know, I always say to people, go where you see yourself being long-term, because when you start working full-time, that's it. I mean, up until the time you retire, you're pretty much stuck with that job. And it's so not okay to be miserable in your job every single day. My advice to anyone who is just young and trying to figure it out is don't always think about the money aspects of things. Of course, you have to pay your bills, and that's a necessity, But I always say prioritize what you are learning, the skills that you are gathering, and the team that you are going to be working with, because that's really what's going to make the difference between you waking up in the morning miserable to go to work and you waking up feeling energized about the work that you do. All right, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about, and this is the only thing on the list that I actually haven't done, but I know a lot of people making really good money on this app. It's called Notion. It's an all-in-one workspace, and it's designed for students, for small businesses, and even larger businesses to be able to manage their workflows and store their notes and information. And a lot of people make money using Notion and selling Notion templates. So this is something that you can do if you have a really cool grocery list template, or you have a really cool budgeting template. You can actually put that together and sell it on Notion. So definitely check out Notion. I think it's a really fun way to make money, and it's passive income. So you make the template, you list it on Notion, and people can actually purchase that template, and you don't really have to do much after that. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I just wanted to come on here and give you guys some tips. And for me as a business owner now, I really kind of look back at my journey and all of the little things that I have been able to do while I was younger, and I really see how it shaped me into the person that I am now, because I really got to try so many different things. And so I encourage you, while you are young, explore opportunities that are out there and find ways to make extra income on the side if you can, because it will help you fuel your passion. So when I first started my business, I kind of had a really good runway to help me invest in my business, because I had done all of these different side gigs and I had enough savings to kind of work on my passions and work on my dreams. Of course, I also had a really good job at the time, and so that also gave me the cushion to start my business and to kind of work on my business on the side. So I hope this video is helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what other videos you guys want to see, and let me know if you guys have tried any of the different tools and apps and methods that I have listed in this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.